Hello, I'm Mitch Brewer, and welcome to Moments with Mitch. I'll be your host, Mitch Brewer. That's me. Some of you may say, well, Mitch, we haven't heard from you in a little while. That's okay. I haven't had anything to say, and I'm not going to get on here and just talk for the sake of talking. But I have had something that's been kind of going around up here a little bit, going on, and I thought I would talk about it some today because I'm hoping it'll help some people. I like to tell things through telling stories. I'm a storyteller. I love to tell stories. I think it makes the lesson or the communication that I'm trying to pass on to help some other people. It makes it maybe a little bit more fun. So here's kind of what has been on my mind. We all see crazy stuff on the news, right? If you look into current events right now, there's a lot of stuff heating up all over the planet. And one of the things that I've noticed is, and I don't think I'm the only one that's noticed it, is our dependency on the electronics and the gadgets. Like you're watching me on some type of electronic gadget right now. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't have these type of advanced electronic gadgets. And so these things can be great in our life. It's allowed me to make friends in other parts of the world that I've never been to. It's allowed me to actually do business at a distance. There's a lot of great things that has come along with this technology. And growing up, you know, I was in the Boy Scouts. We had a motto. The Boy Scouts have a motto of "Be prepared." And I'm a big believer in being prepared and having some type of plan, because nobody has a crystal ball where we know what's going to happen. But one of the other things I like to do is play chess. And in chess, to be good at chess, you have to play multiple moves ahead in your mind and try to figure out what could happen. And, you know, that's going to make the moves that you make now, it's going to influence that. So in times of because times are up and down, right? There's a lot of volatility right now, I think, of what's going on. And when I was growing up, we had a friend of the family, and he was very successful at business. He actually started out as a bricklayer and worked his way up to where he was a very, very successful construction company owner. And so I was always trying to learn lessons from this man that I called Uncle Gene. But one of the things that Uncle Gene told me when I was a kid is, he said, Mitch, he said, one of the ways that I've been able to survive and thrive all through the years as these things were going up and down, because this was back in the 70s, like when Jimmy Carter was president, interest rates were going crazy. There was a lot of conflict. They were telling us we were going to run out of gas. It was gas rationing. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of volatility. He says, one of the things that I've done to survive and thrive is I did things a little bit differently than the other people that were in my same business, my same industry. He said, most of the guys would go out when times were good, and they would purchase things like loaders, backhoes, cranes, construction equipment. They would buy them on payments. He said, I didn't do that. I rented my equipment. And then when the economy maybe started going like this and people were not building, he said, all those guys that had gone and purchased were in trouble. They had a payment on that equipment. They had a contract to make a payment on that equipment, and they couldn't pay it. They busted out. In other words, they went bankrupt. They could not make their payment. He said, me, I was leasing the equipment. I simply went and turned the equipment in and didn't rent it until times got better. Now, the reason I tell you this story today is because even though we don't have a crystal ball, we can take lessons. And by the way, this thing about experience is the best teacher, that's an incomplete statement. The experience of others is the best teacher, because I don't need to make the mistakes that other people have already made the mistakes, or I can find success principles and use those success principles going forward. So what does this translate into what is going on today, and what could this be a sign that I may need to prepare for a move? Because in any conflict, and right now we have a conflict, we have a monetary conflict and we have the world on fire, right? It's the conflict. And in those conflicts is when great wealth can be transferred. So what if the scenario were to come down to where, let's say you're a person and you just keep all your money in the bank and you electronically pay your bills, or maybe you have them set on automatic, right? Okay, a lot of people put them on automatic these days, and I think there are some advantages to some of the automatic. But what would happen if, like, I think everybody saw Facebook went down for a whole day, and we're seeing bank hacks, and we're seeing even entities as big as Medicare got hacked almost about a year ago. We're in April right now of 2024, but in May of last year, Medicare was hacked. There's been some serious medicine companies that worked coordinated with the insurance companies and the doctors and the drugstores and all that kind of stuff. They had to turn their computers off. Do you think, now here's the question, do you think if your bank got hacked so hard that they had to shut the computers down and you could not make an electronic payment, do you really think that they're going to give you a pass? I don't think so. At least I'm not counting on it. So I think a way that we could protect ourselves is, number one, have cash, have some cash in the bank. Have some cash that's not in the bank. Okay? Because what if your bank goes down and you can't make your payment? Now there's some payments that personally I can go and pay, like my water bill. I can drive uptown and at least attempt to make a payment if I have cash. They should be able to take my cash. Now they may not can use their computer or make a record or something, but I could at least record myself or get them to sign a paper saying that I attempted to make a payment on that. You see what I'm saying? I don't want them to cut my water off. I don't want to try to be able to make a credit card payment and the phone not work, and then all of a sudden, do you see how easy it would be for a person, even if they had money, to where they would start getting fees and it would go against their credit, right? It would be very easy if some of these electronic systems that we're using right now, if we're super dependent on those and you're trying to make a payment, and just because you have the money does not mean that you can make the payment. Guys, look, for the last 20 years at least, the banks have been using software to rearrange your deposits and your and your withdrawals, even in the checks. They stack everything in the statements. They have had software for over 20 years that will rearrange basically the timing of when these things cleared to stack it in their favor. So let's say you write a check let's say you write 5 checks, and some of them are small checks, but one of them is a bigger check. Maybe it's your house payment check. Well, the house payment check may have on the calendar in real time been the last one to clear, but they'll stack it in there where that one will fail first and cause the other 4 to fail. So now you got 5 penalties instead of the 1. Okay, they've been doing that for 20 years. So with a track record like that, what I'm saying is it is smart for people that if you are paying something like, now I do have one credit card that they have a local branch, and I guess that, that maybe it's paid off. I don't have a balance on the credit card, but if I was going to have a balance on a credit card, it would make sense to have one where they have a local branch, and I could at least attempt to make a payment in cash. But if you're doing business with a company at a distance and something happens with their electronic gadget, and you can't make your payment, I just don't think that leaving yourself open to the mercy of them taking mercy on you basically is a good idea. So it's something to think about. All right, you can do what you want. I mean, you're gonna do what you want anyway, right? I'm just trying to think ahead a little bit, because I think that there's going to be people, let's just say we do go into a very dark economic time, and if the things militarily keep heating up around the world, it's just a large chance of it. I think that there'll be people that come out fine. You know what I mean? Like they'll actually prosper through it. There'll be fortunes made in it. There'll be other people that they bust out quick. Okay, so, and then there'll be people that maybe they do deplete their savings as far as their cash, but they come out at least with some good credit. Some of them will come out with no cash and bad credit. So I think if you're a person, if you're just like the average person out here, you want to at least come out of this with good credit, because the good credit will present opportunities to you that are not available to those that didn't make it through that. I know we've gone a little bit over the time that I planned, so let me go ahead and just wrap this up. I am the author of a couple of books. One of them is Medicare Made Simple. One of them is called The Final Wishes Guide. You can go in, my name is Mitch Brewer. You can go in on Amazon, type in Mitch Brewer books. So these will pop up. The links will also be in the description. If you have questions about what's, like what's going on with, like a problem in your life and you're looking for a solution, that's kind of my superpower, is I like to help people come up with a solution. Now, you don't have to take my suggestion, but I'm just saying I get a lot of pleasure out of helping people, and problem solving is something I enjoy doing, and I'm okay with it. So I reach out to me. I want to help you. I want to be a resource for you, and I also want to just be your friend. I'm looking to meet people and have a community of people, because I've met some of my greatest friends just through the internet. I have people I would have never met had the internet not existed. I would not have these people and know these people. And over the years, I've assembled, a very nice, vetted team of not only professionals but just friends. So reach out to me. All right, you guys have a great day, and I look forward to your questions and your comments and all those things. Have a great day.